So I just realized I've been talking for a good long time. So.
Yes.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, let's
Sorry.
move up. Let's move up a couple of years.
So, you know how we talked about ends and starts of an era? Well, for me, this is the start of the Ruthless Aggression era. I picked WrestleMania 21, or as its full title, WrestleMania 21 Goes to Hollywood.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh jeez, I remember those those vignettes.
The vignettes that he talked that Voice is talking about right now had WWE stars dressing up and acting out famous Hollywood scenes, like Eugene playing Forrest Gump, Triple H and Ric Flair doing Braveheart scenes, Stacy Keibler, Basic Instinct, Eddie and Booker doing Pulp Fiction, which really good. John Cena and JBL doing A Few Good Men. Undertaker doing Dirty Harry, which is amazing. Christy Hemme and Kurt Angle doing a bunch of people doing Taxi Driver, and then Austin doing Gladiator, which is just mwah.
That's like I've seen most of those, and the only one I haven't seen is Taker doing Dirty Harry, which he was already back in his Dead Man thing, so
Yeah.
that must have been weird.
That well, with that deep voice, it's gonna sound even scarier than Clint Eastwood.
Oh man,
You gotta ask yourself,
So
do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
I'm just going to quickly read out the commentary and such. So we had Michael Cole and Taz on SmackDown commentary, and JR and The King on Raw.
Oh, I one very quick thing I forgot to mention from 19 during the Hulk Hogan, Mr. McMahon match. Hugo Savinovich, the Spanish announcer, he got fucking brain.
Oh no!
Like he got bashed in the head with a chair, and it's just like, oh my god! I was not expecting that. Continue.
For your ring announcers, you have Howard Finkel for Raw and Tony Chimmel. Hey man, how you doing?
Hi Tony.
You're rated R. Superstar.
So yeah, the first match. I'm not going to be talking about the pre-show basically match, the Sunday Night Heat match, because that was just a 30-man interpromotional battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
Booker T won it. There, that's what I know from the wiki.
Yeah,
and then
I don't even think that it was filmed. So
yeah, so the lead up to this, we start with Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero in a singles match. They are currently, at the time of the show, tag team champions. Eddie was on a massive losing streak, except for when he was teaming with Rey or his brother. Mm-hmm. And he had to prove that he could win. And he lost. Aww. Rey beat him. It was an amazing lucha match. If you love if you love what Rey is doing now with like Andrade, go watch this match.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk too much about it because it's that good. This match, this card had a lot of good matches.
Mm-hmm.
We next had the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes, we had Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Christian with Tyson Tomko, Kane, Shelton Benjamin, and Edge. This match was really good. Shelton Benjamin needs to be in more Money in the Bank ladder matches.
Oh yeah,
we'll get to that.
Like, Shelton Benjamin is the unsung hero of all Money in the Bank matches.
Yes. WrestleMania 21 was all about, okay, we're going to show off all these new young talent.
Mm-hmm.
That was the kind of main thing of it. You had an Edge coming in and going, I'm gonna be in that top % of guys now. I'm gonna be in the main card. Fuck you and whoever else says that. You had Randy Orton going, and speaking of which, the next match, Randy Orton versus Undertaker. This was legend killer Randy Orton, not the Randy Orton you know right now. This Randy Orton wasn't, how to put it, he wasn't
Boring?
No. He wasn't as methodical as he was. He very much was still, in to a certain extent, a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hit a big guy, right, in the name of Undertaker, and yeah, it was not good for Randy. This pretty much was the end of the Legend Killer gimmick, and he kind of didn't really have anything for a while.
Yeah.
This was kind of like Randy dipping down to the mid card for a bit. The next match was Trish Stratus versus Christy Hemme with Lita. I believe at the time Lita was slightly injured, so she couldn't compete. So she had a proxy, which was Christy Hemme. Trish won because it's Christy Hemme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The drop off in talent between Lita and Christy Hemme is pretty substantial.
Yeah. The next match is probably one of the best matches from WrestleMania 20 to WrestleMania 30. Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
The word wrestling clinic gets thrown around a bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those matches that deserve it.
Yeah, this was almost a half-hour match.
27 minutes and 32 seconds of pure great wrestling by two amazing wrestlers. The story was basically Shawn Michaels eliminated Kurt Angle at the Rumble. Kurt was pissed. He wanted to prove that Shawn Michaels wasn't as good as he was and that Kurt Angle was the best wrestler in the world. Why can't we have more matches like this? Why can't we have more storylines like this? This also led into a sort of longer feud than you would think. It wasn't just from Rumble to Mania. It went on for a couple of more matches.
Oh yeah, they brought in both Sherry Martel and Marty Jannetty to come up for
yes.
this.
Mm-hmm.
The match was really good. Like it's once again, the issue with great matches is I don't like to talk about them in depth because you should go watch them.
Right.
Go on to the goddamn network and watch it. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Meltzer gave it 4 3/4.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's like,
yeah.
At the time, that was kind of like the ceiling for WWE. And that match like had everything. If that match had have happened today, the exact same match, it would get 5 stars, maybe even 6.
Yeah.
And then we get a sumo match that was terrible.
No.
Now I need to confess something. I started watching sumo wrestling, like proper sumo wrestling, over the past year.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to run down a few stats from Akibono that are kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So it took him less than 2 years to go from the top division and bottom rank to its second highest rank. How you do that is actually quite hard. You have to get up into a certain level of that bottom row, and then you have to get 30 wins over the next 3 tournaments there are 15 matches in each tournament. So you have to get a minimum of 10, go 10-5. He went 13-2, 8-7, 13-2. He unfortunately got injured winning the tournament where he went, the last tournament he was in, and missed the next one. Then, here's the big thing. Moving from what is called Ozeki to Yokozuna, which is the big bad, you are the best sumo wrestler. He had one more tournament, and then he won 2 in a row, and he became Yokozuna. That is how you become a Yokozuna. You have to be an Ozeki, and you have to win 2 tournaments in a row. That is not easy, because sumo wrestlers get injured a fair amount. Now, what he then goes on is a very rare occasion. It doesn't happen very often. Unless he gets injured, the lowest score he had was 9-6. He never lost a tournament, and he never had a losing score unless he was either injured or he missed it due to injury. He, in total, won, let me do some quick math, 11 tournaments in his career from 1990 to 2000, because he retired before the first year's tournament in 2001, because mainly due to a spat of very severe injuries.
Oh, no.
Yes, he is credited as being one of the best sumo wrestlers of all time for legitimate reasons. And then he started kickboxing. He won 1 match.
How many did he not win?
9.
Ooh.
His first kickboxing match was against Bob Sapp, and his last match was against the same man. Bob Sapp is known as the worst MMA fighter in the world. He also competed in...
Wasn't he also the guy who went to New Japan and they tried to make him a star and they failed?
Yes. He also has competed in MMA and lost all his matches. In pro wrestling, he has competed in All Japan, Dragon Gate, DDT Wrestling. He ranked 115th on Pro Wrestling's top 500 wrestlers in 2006.
Higher than Nathan Jones.
Yeah. And Tokyo Sports gave him in 2005 and 2009 Best Tag Team Award. He was actually kind of good at wrestling. He's a former 2-time Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship in All Japan Pro Wrestling. Former Dragon Gate Open, the Triangle Gate champion with
and Tag Championship.
Yes, Dragon Gate has silly names for their titles.
Yeah, like I learned this a lot whenever, like, I looked up stuff about CIMA, the guy who owns OWE now, and he is like a Dragon Gate legend. So I've learned a lot about them.
Yes. Yeah, so and this is the thing that kind of WWE didn't talk about very often. His build, weight, and height. 6 foot 8 inches. 462 pounds.
Dang.
Tall guy.
So Big Show was basically evenly matched, especially around this time.
Around this time, he was fairly evenly matched, and honestly, he wasn't trying. Obviously, that was 100% staged. If you if you want to look up good actual sumo wrestling, there's a big tournament every other month. So there's one at the start of the year, and then they skip a month, and then they have a tournament, skip a month, have a tournament. We just finished up the one in the March tournament. So nothing in April, and then next month we have another tournament. It's actually quite a lot of fun to watch. So big ups to my friends in Japan who got me on to sumo wrestling, because it's actually a lot of fun. Now, the next two matches basically set up set the stage for what is the Attitude Era and what is basically the Ruthless Aggression Era. Sorry, I'm kind of tired. I've been up all night. Basically, it's two old guards being beaten by the young up-and-comers, and the two of them never look back. The first match was John Cena versus JBL. He was right. John Cena was right. He would eventually be WWE champion, and he would main event in Wrestlemania the next year. Yeah, after the year after this one. And Cena's rise was kind of really quick. He went from being mid-card guy to mid-card champion to in basically 1 year. He went from last Mania 20 to being Mania 20 beating Big Show. I'm tired. I'm really tired. Beating Big Show for the US championship, losing that championship in a feud with JBL, but not to him.
To Orlando Jordan.
Yes. And then beating JBL for his WWE championship. And here's the thing that I didn't know at the time, and I didn't know up until kind of recently, that the number one contendership for this was decided via a tournament. I'm going to read off the list of people in this tournament. Mm-hmm. You had John Cena this is the first round, John Cena versus Orlando Jordan, Eddie Guerrero versus Booker T, Undertaker versus Rene Dupree, and Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. Undertaker and Dupree was a double count out.
It doesn't Rene Dupree or something?
No, I swear, this is probably one of those times where they were like, okay, we need someone to face the Undertaker and then have them both get counted out. Fuck it, Renee, get here. I mean, he was getting a slight push, but a very slight push, if I'm remembering my history correctly.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was the youngest champion until Nicholas.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Kurt Angle beat Ray, got a bye to the finals against John Cena. Orlando Jordan faced Cena. Cena won. Booker T beat Eddie. Cena beat Booker T, and then Cena beat Angle. More reason for why Angle should face John Cena at Mania this year for his retirement match.
And not Baron Corbin.
So this match wasn't great. It's probably the weakest match on the card from the men's roster.
Mm-hmm.
And
does that
honestly,
include Big Show and Akabono?
No, it doesn't, because I count that as that is not a wrestling match. That's a sumo match.
Fair enough.
If I did, then it would be the second weakest. if I was taking it from the category of a professional wrestling match, and even from a sumo match, because Big Show doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and if Akabono actually tried, the match would have been like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Honestly, a minute is a long match for a sumo match. Yeah, this match was okay. Cena became champion, and shortly after, JBL got a present from Cena. A box of guts.
Oh.
Yeah, because JBL don't have none.
Like actual gut?
Actual pig intestines. And then he got it all dropped. And as WWE tends to do, he got a bunch of pig intestines dropped on his head.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Vince finds it funny, at least.
Wrestling is great.
Well, good storytelling is great, and that's what we got in the main event: Triple H versus Batista.
Hell yeah!
So, if you know the story, you know Batista and Cena have the little awkward incident at the Rumble, which had a certain chairman of the board blow Brophy's quads. That was fucking hilarious.
Fantastic.
But yeah, like this feud had been brewing for months before then. Batista gets his shot at whichever champion he wants, and Triple H is basically going, "Hey, go after JBL. You know you can beat him. If you do that, Evolution, because Evolution was still a thing at that point. I mean, we'll have both of the world titles."
Yeah, Orton was out, but it was still Triple H, Flair, and Batista.
Yeah, and Batista does the coolest thing at the time he had ever done. He holds out his hand and does the Julius Caesar thumb drop and just, I think he spears or spine busters Triple H and just attacks him. And
yeah, this
match is one of those ones. Yeah. Well, no, he attacks him and then Batista bombs him.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have seen any history when it comes to Batista, and they'll probably be rehashing this in a promo for the Triple H Batista match at Mania this year. Yeah. Yeah, they've got to bring Evolution up. They've got to bring this match up this year at Mania. And the thing that surprised me when I was watching this is how long it went for. It went for 21 minutes and 34 seconds. I was like, huh. And here's the thing. The Kurt Angle Shawn Michaels match was the longest match on the card.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was second longest, and it deserved it, and it got it, and it was this card, you'd look at it at the time and go, oh, that's not a great card. But then, if you look back at it today, you go, okay, Rey Mysterio, future Hall of Famer. Eddie Guerrero, Hall of Famer. Edge, Hall of Fame. Chris Benoit. Would
have been Hall of Fame, but yeah, he did something really stupid.
Yes, he at the time, Chris Benoit at that time, future Hall of Famer. Then issues happen. Chris Jericho, future Hall of Famer. Christian, I believe he's a Hall of Famer.
No.
Or at least he
should be Hall of Famer.
Should be.
Future Hall of Famer.
Future Hall of Famer. Kane, definitely future Hall of Famer. Shelton Benjamin's a bit iffy. Undertaker, future Hall of Famer. Randy Orton, future Hall of Famer. Trish Stratus, Hall of Famer. Emma Lita, Hall of Famer. Christy Hemme,
no.
Maybe not.
No.
If Tori Wilson can get in, who's to
She
say?
can. Kurt Angle, future Hall of Famer. Shawn Michaels, future Hall of Famer. Big Show, future Hall of Famer. JBL, Cena, Batista, Triple H, Ric Flair, all either Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. This card was fucking stacked. And that's WrestleMania 21. It was actually kind of good. And if you look back on it, it's amazing that
it's more influential than good.
It for me, it's it's one of those nostalgia things because it was the first Mania that I watched live.
Mm-hmm.
And you always hold a special place in your heart. And for me, I think the historical significance of it puts it up there enough for me to talk about it today.
Right.